and welcome to Rolling with Two. I'm Will, and with me is the singer of sultry tales herself,
Sarah.
And today we're doing a two-player perspective and accessibility for Balada. Sarah, tell us a bit about this game.
All right. Through flip and write mechanics, the players are bards recording the brave deeds of heroes, and the player with the most captivating story will be the winner. All right, Will, so what are the two-player rules?
There are no changes to rules for two players. So far, there is no bot. No. However, you can take a Nanaman and make him your hero, as I did. Sir Nana of Man won one of the games.
He did. All right, so issues in a two-player experience, we really couldn't find any because the game's pretty much player count neutral.
Yes, we flip over cards and make decisions.
Yep. And so kind of moving into what it does well is if you're looking for that kind of experience where it's completely multiplayer solitaire, I mean, you don't compete over any metrics at all. Like there's other flip and writes where you compete over like one thing at the end of the game. Nope. In this one, each person does whatever choices they want to do, and at the end, you just compare scores.
Yes.
So that's it for two-player. Neither good nor bad. It is.
Yeah.
So for accessibility, there is a small cognitive challenge. Some of the nuances in the scoring can be confusing the way it's written in the rules.
Yeah, there are a number of things that are easy enough to do. Count up the number of fish. You score that many points on that side. If you have a key and run into a tower, you score 2 points. If you defeat a monster, okay, you get that many points if you defeat him with a sword. And then it starts just getting more and more convoluted from there.
Yeah, I think part of it is there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different things that score, and each one does it a little differently. Yeah. So even when you have one where it's count the spaces between, one of them counts the spaces only between the icons, one of them counts it with the icons.
Yeah, so it's like if you have a key and a treasure chest, they score, and you make it to the chest, and you have the key before it, you count the spaces between, score that many points. If you have a boss and you defeat him, you count his space plus all the spaces to the right of him.
That's what it was, yes.
And then if you have a princess, you score all the bad monster threats to the left of him in a contiguous line, and it's only broken if it just goes further and further and gets a little bit more and more nuanced.
So if the rules aren't enough for you, do go on to Board Game Geek. One of the designers is pretty active on there right now and has been answering questions pretty well and helping people clarify. So hopefully they'll come up with like maybe an official FAQ or even revise the rules at some point.
Yeah.
Now, what it does right for accessibility is the iconography is very clear. It's a black icon with a white background, and it's very large at the top of the card. So it's very, very clear. And additionally, since you're trying to draw these different icons, they're also very simple. In fact, I mean, it's just very simple lines. So I'm not great at drawing. I just start with a line from whatever the icon is and just kind of follow it around until I've made a complete thing. I will have to say my towers probably look the worst because those are probably the most complicated. But it doesn't matter. It just needs to be recognizable enough.
Additionally, all the information is open.
Yep.
So if someone does have a question, they can pose it to everyone they're playing with. Yep. What does this mean? And you can all discuss and come to some consensus and go with that.
Yes. The other thing I really appreciate is there's no reliance on color for any type of differences in this game. It's, like I said, all the icons are black on white. So for colorblind folks, this is going to be very friendly for you.
Yes.
All right. I think that was everything that we ran across. So for conclusion.
Yes. Would you recommend this for two players?
If you're looking for a multiplayer solitaire experience, obviously for a two-player experience, yes, there's no head-to-head competition on anything. You're each making your own individual choices. So if you're looking for that kind of more, I feel like it was a very relaxed experience.
Yes, I would say for 2 players, this is the filler game that gives your brain a time to rest, relax, contemplate itself, and not overdo anything.
Right. I mean, there's some challenging decisions, but you could also always go simple. So I mean, like I said, it's definitely that relaxing experience. So just if you're looking for that kind of two-player experience, then this is for you.
Yes, but it's very important to say this is 2 player solitaire.
Yes.
Essentially, you're the only metric you're competing against is the points at the end.
Yep, that's it.
So yeah, accessibility wise.
Yes, I mean, I think the only people we wouldn't recommend this for is if you have mobility issues, but I would assume at this point you already know whether or not you're good with the flip and or right, roll and rights, flip and rights, whatever their, the different type is. If holding a pen or pencil is difficult for you and drawing, probably not. But I will say these are some of the easiest icons I've seen to draw in games where you have to draw something.
Yeah, do you think they give enough space?
I think so for the most part. Where it gets complicated is when you can change the terrain, and so you've got a few extra things to draw, and or the portal. If you're trying to portal in a different icon, I wish there was a little bit more space, but I feel it's decent. I was contemplating photocopying it and blowing it up. But I think for most people, it's going to be good.
Yeah, because I do know when it comes to writing, a big issue for people is, well, there's just not enough space.
Right. No, I think for the most part, this is enough space.
Okay.
For doing that, for writing.
Well, that will do it for us here at Rolling with Two. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach us at the various social media platforms at
Rolling with Two, that's TWO. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and on YouTube. Please like and subscribe.
And why would you ever go on an adventure all by yourself when you can be Rolling with Two?